In this video, we're going to be going over the properties of fractions. And I'm going to show you that they're not as scary as they seem. So, our first property is b times c over d, simply because it's the easiest. So, to multiply two different fractions, we multiply across, a times c and b times d. So it would be ac over bd. Let's plug in some numbers for that. You have 1/2 times 1/3. To multiply these, you do 1 by 1 is 1, 2 by 3 is 6, 1/6. It's pretty straightforward. So we have our second property. We did multiplication and we're going to do division. To divide two different fractions, you take the sign, you change it to multiplication, and you reverse the numerator and the denominator. Let's slow that down. A over b, change the sign, times d over c. You notice the numerator, this used to be the old denominator, right? And this flipped as well. So you get AD over BC. And that's how you divide A over B divided by C over D. So when you plug in numbers, it's a lot easier to see. 1/2 divided by 1/3 is the same as 1/2 times 3 over 1, or 3/2. Okay? Our third property is the addition of two fractions with the same denominator. We're going to make the denominator, we're going to make that C. Okay? So here you see we have the same denominator, so we can just add a over b, a times a plus b over c. Now, if you have, let's say, 1/2 plus 7 over 2, what happens? You make sure you have the same denominator, and then you add across. Okay? 7 plus 1 is the same as 8. Take the denominator, bring it back 2. Okay? Our fourth property is that you have to, going back to this, okay? To be able to add two different fractions, okay, we're going to add a over c plus, let's say, z over x. Okay, you can immediately see that this denominator and this denominator are not in common. Okay, so to make them common, you multiply them together. Okay, you have to multiply c by x, right? So then you multiply the top by x as well. You get 8x. Right? And z you multiply by c, okay, plus cz. Okay, seems confusing with variables, but let's plug in numbers. 1/2 plus 1/3. Okay, some of you may be able to do that in your heads, but for the purpose of this demonstration, okay, 1/2 plus 1/3, 2 times 3, okay, is 6. You multiply 2 times 3, so you do the same to the top, so you don't change the value of it. 3 plus, okay, 3 times 2, and then 2 times 1, right? 2. 5 over 6. Okay? And we're going to go more in depth in later videos, but that's the gist of having the same denominator. Okay? We also have a times c over b times c. Okay? So, if you have this, the c's cancel out, and it's the same as a over b. Okay? So, if you have the number 2 times 5 over 3 times 5, okay, that's the same thing as saying 2 over 3. Okay? The 5's cancel each other out. And our last property of fractions, is if you have, let's say, a fraction AB is the same as the fraction BC. Okay? So you're saying that the value here is the same as the value on this side. Okay? So then you can cross multiply, which is an incredibly useful skill in algebra. You have A over B with D over C. Okay? You multiply B times D and then C times A. So you get C times A is equal to B times B. That's cross multiplication. And those are the properties of fractions.